night I'm going nowhere. All the lights are changing, green to red. Turning over TV stations, situations running through my head. Looking back through time, you know it's clear that I've been blind. I've been a fool to open up my heart to all this jealousy, this bitterness that I ridicule. Saturday I'm running wild and all the lights are changing, green to red. Moving through the crowds I'm pushing, chemicals are rushing through my bloodstream. I only wish that you were here, you know I'm seeing it so clear. I've been afraid to show you how I really feel, admit to some of those bad mistakes I've made. If you want it, come and get it, crying out loud. Love that I was giving you was never in doubt. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, feel it now. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, feel it now. Babylon, Babylon. Sunday all the lights of London shining, sky is fading red to blue. Kicking through those autumn leaves and wondering where it is you might be going to. Turning back for home, you know I'm feeling so alone, I can't believe. Climbing on the stair, I turn around to see you smiling there in front of me. And if you want it, come and get it, crying out loud. Love that I was giving you was never in doubt. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, feel it now. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, feel it now. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, feel it now. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, feel it now. Babylon, 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 Babylon. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Babylon by David Gray, an absolutely gorgeous song from his White Ladder record. It's only taken me this long to get to it because I never really felt like I got it right. And I heard it on the radio this morning, I'm like, God, I absolutely love that song. I've got to nail down that riff, and I've spent a little bit of time on it, and I'm very confident that I've got it the way that he played it. It's so beautiful. A little bit tricky. Mostly this hand is just thumb, so you don't need a pick, you don't need finger style. It's just kind of mostly down strums with the thumb for the riff and a little bit of up strums with the thumb for a strumming pattern for the chorus. We got a capo at the first fret. I'm just going to take you through the riff like really super slowly. It does require a few technical things, thumb over the top, some hammer-ons that might seem a little bit tricky at first, but it is one of those things that once you know how to do it, you can do it really nice and slowly. It's just a matter of practicing and building it up to tempo. So let's get to a close-up and check it out. So we're starting off This is a D major 7 or possibly a D major 9 if you end up playing that thinner string, which I'm not trying to do, but it comes out sometimes. Thumb is playing the 2nd fret, but it's got to wrap over. So the first thing you want to practice is getting that thumb to wrap over and just play that note. You can have the open A string or you can mute it a bit. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to be targeting that string too much, but it might come out a little bit. Then you've got 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 3rd finger, 2nd fret on the 2nd string. And that's what's being targeted. But sometimes you're going to find that thinner string ringing out, and that sounds great too. Kind of changes a little bit, and it definitely appears on the original recording from time to time, but it's not what's being targeted. So just allow it to pop out sometimes, and maybe mute it if it's coming out a little bit too much. You just have to use your ears and judgment to decide on that. So that's the first chord, and now what we're going to do is strum with our thumb through that whole chord. You're probably avoiding the thinner string there. You can mute it by laying down your 3rd finger a little bit, so you don't get that thinner string ringing out. It's not a horrible note. Sometimes it sounds quite nice, but it's not one that you should be consciously targeting. So you're going to do 3 strums, 1 and 2 and then that 4th strum, you're just going to strum here from the 4th string, and you're going to hammer your little finger down. Yes, you're going to hammer with your little finger. I said that right. Hammer with your little finger down on the 3rd fret and then flick it off. You hear sometimes I get, and the flick off is playing that thinner string. It doesn't really sound bad if you do it, but I don't think that's what you should be aiming for. Again, it's just leaving that 3rd finger laying a little flatter to mute that string. I think the hardest part is going to be getting that little hammer on flick off with the little finger. So you end up with 1 and 2 and 3. Got to be in time as well. It's not just a random, like as fast as you can. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and... Now I've used the wrong finger. Should be a 3rd finger sliding up to the 3rd fret, and you're playing these open strings, 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. Okay, so that just really slow to go over that after the hammer on bit, because you're just doing the thicker strings strum. So 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and... That's what I'd recommend you get to so far. So just sliding that 3rd finger up, you're going to end up strumming these strings 4, 3 and 2 again. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and... It's just the first bar, worth working on just that first, nice and slow. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and... Now after he's played that and, then the chord goes down, it becomes a G chord. So you're putting 1st finger down, 2nd fret of the 5th string, or 2 frets above the capo, of course, and 2nd finger, usual spot, 3 frets above the capo on the thicker string. Now do note, when I play it, I don't generally put my 1st finger down in the 2nd fret of the 5th string. I generally don't like the sound of G chords like that. I'm fairly sure I've seen videos of David putting his 1st finger there, so that's probably what I'd recommend, even it's not what I do. So do what I say, not do what I do, would be what I recommend. Then we're putting little finger down here in the 4th fret of the 3rd string, which might feel a little bit awkward. So we've just gone from the 4 and, then we put the chord 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, just strumming. You're going to find the strumming becomes a little looser as you go along, where you're accenting some strums more than others, and sometimes you'll play them harder and softer, and where you target exactly the strums will kind of evolve. What I'm trying to show you is kind of a basic way to start off where it's very exact, but the reality of it is it's a little bit more fluid than that, and you should probably allow it to kind of, you feel it out a little bit. It's the only way I can describe it. But let's go through that 2nd bar again. So we've just played that at the end of the 1st bar, then we've got the G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now I think right at the end on the 4 and, there's an open E string that he's just played the thumb on the way to that. Okay, nice and slowly. So 3, 4, 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. noticing that I'm playing, sometimes I'm playing there on beat 3. It's really, there's a hammer-on flick off there with the second finger, but sometimes I'm playing it with the thumb because, again, part of the fluidity of strumming is about like moving the hand continuously. So even though I'm not trying to strum there, sometimes it's coming out anyway. And it's very, very difficult for me to not do that. And I think that you'll probably find the same. That's what you should be aiming for, is practicing it kind of slowly, making sure you get it right. But there will be a point where it becomes a bit easier to go a little faster, like riding a bike. Right? You have to know what to do first, but once you've got the right idea, you have to kind of give it a bit of a push, and then it starts to feel a little, it feels right. So the trickiest bit really is probably sliding up with the third finger to the third fret at the and after 4 in the first bar. That would be the bit that most people would maybe not get right, but really kind of, for me, brings home that riff really nicely. And I guess the other hard part is relaxing with it enough to, like, sometimes let that thinner string ring out and all of these kind of other elements that creep in, which sound great and they're on the record, but trying to teach them exactly where they are and how they go is really difficult. So let's try it again, just again nice and slowly, and then I'll try and speed it up a little bit. So here we go. Let's start the first chord. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hear that open string ringing out. I was deliberately doing it, but that's no good. One thing that I am noticing that I'm doing, I'm repeating it over and over again to try and give you any other little tips that I notice that I'm doing as I'm playing it, and definitely on the and after 2 where that little hammer on is, I'm giving it a little bit more of a strum to get that, trying to just dig in that little bit more in order to let that accent, the hammer on thing kind of happen. If I strummed at the same volume, I don't think you'd hear it as clearly. So just be aware of that. Again, it's one of those things, just playing it a bunch of times, I think you'll discover those things and you'll get a little bit more, because it's not like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's not that exact. It's more, you just got to feel it out. Use my explanation of the riff as a starting point, but do remember, it's just about relaxing into it, letting other things happen and trying to work on the groove and making it feel nice, because that's always going to be a little bit more important than getting the notes right. So even if some of the notes are a bit fluffy, if you're making it feel really good, that's definitely better. Okay, let's go through and have a look at some of these cool chords going on for the chorus. So the chorus starts on a D. If you want it, A, come and get it, E minor. For crying out, F sharp minor 11 to D. Love that I was, A and U was E minor, never in G, D. Let go of your A, let go of your E minor, and feel it, A, D. Let go of your A, let go of your E minor, and feel it, A, Babylon. And most of those chords are pretty familiar. D, I'm assuming most of you know that. A, most of you probably know that one. E minor, still pretty common. F sharp minor 11, this is a beautiful chord. I absolutely love this chord. Requires the thumb over again. This one's a little bit tricky. Thumb over, 3rd and 4th fingers in the 4th fret above the capo. I know it looks the 5th fret now because I've got the capo on the 1st fret, obviously. And then 1st finger, 2nd fret, 2 frets above the capo on the 3rd string, and open thinnest 2 strings. It's an absolutely beautiful chord. If you're struggling to get the thumb over for that chord, just leave it off. And just play here, 4th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, open, open. Sounds absolutely fine if you do that. Right? Most people won't notice that bass note missing. So second time through, D to A, E minor to G, and then it's let go of your A, let go of your E minor, B to A. Just does that twice through. Twice around that section, then back to... And that's actually the whole song, right? There's not any more to it. Of course, I'm going to go through the strumming pattern in just a sec, but chord-wise, that's it. The only other kind of mild variation is between the first verse and the second verse. He does a bar of E minor. He just, live, he seems to go... He kind of walks down to it, but you can just go to the E minor there. I'm sure you can see that from my little cover thing at the beginning of the lesson, and or watch some videos or listen to it. I'm sure you'll pick that up in no time. It's not even slightly difficult. But what is worth a look is the strumming pattern. And again, there's lots of variations of this strumming pattern, so what I'm going to give you is kind of a starting point, a good pattern to practice. It is still just using the thumb, but you're using some upstrokes with the thumb now, which maybe feel unfamiliar for some of you, but again, just a little bit of practice is not going to be too bad, okay? So the pattern is this. Again, you can see that my hand's kind of moving more or less continuously. We got down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. 1E and a 2 and 3E and 4 and a 1E and a 2 and 3E and 4 and a 1E and a 2 and E and 4E and a down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. Okay, you've got to work on this pattern. It might feel a little bit weird, but if you're going to sing it, you've got to be able to play it and talk or whatever. It's not a super easy one if you think about it, but it really fits with the lyric great. Okay, so give it a bit of work. Down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. And this kind of practice I'm showing you where I'm just muting the chords, really good idea for working on your strumming patterns, because as soon as you put the chords in, our ears get distracted by the notes instead of being aware of the rhythm. So again, learning the pattern independently, even if you're going 1 and 2 and 3, E and 4 and a down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. Just doing it nice and consistent with that rhythm. Then maybe have a go playing along with the original recording, but without the chords. Right? So play along. So, if you want it, come and get it. Coming out loud. Play along, get used to the feeling of it, because when you're playing it with the chords, and especially if you're going to sing as well, you need to make sure that strumming is kind of feeling real nice. There are lots of variations, and I don't play it exactly the same all of the way through. I don't think David does either, particularly the last two strums. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not, but I think it's worth practicing the pattern with those in. So the one other thing just to be aware of with the pattern is maybe for the earlier part, I try and keep the volume of it a little bit down. And then when it goes into the let go of your heart, let go of your head part, I try and strum it a little louder just to give it some kind of growth within that section. So the strumming is not all exactly the same. But let's just try that, adding that pattern now into the chord progression so you can see it in action, but nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. So it's not that bad a pattern. It is, again, like most things, just takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of hard work, a little bit of repetition, but it's got a great dividend because this is such an amazing song. It feels really lovely under the fingers to play. It's just a beautiful tune, and actually it's not that hard. Once you've got the riff down, you know what those chords are. Of course, things like the F sharp minor 11 chord might feel a little bit tricky, fair play, but a little bit of practice and you'll have it. And then you've got a really cool way of playing. Almost any time you see an F sharp minor chord, you can play the F sharp minor 11. I really loved it in Wild Horses by Rolling Stones, uses that chord as well. It's absolutely it's a sublime chord. So, yeah, hope you dig this song. I've got other David Gray lessons over on the website. You might want to go and check that out. Remember, justinguitar.com/songs. There's a search box where you can search for all of your favourite songs. They're all graded by difficulty. If you're having any problems with the rhythm as well, do go check out the Justin Guitar Lessons Songs app, specifically designed to help beginner guitar players not develop bad rhythm habits. It's got loads of backing tracks which you play along with, and the backing tracks don't stop if you make a mistake, so it forces you to develop your rhythm. It's the most common mistake beginners make, but not those that are using my app. Of course, got all my beginner lessons in it as well. It's available for Apple and Android. There'll be a link around here somewhere, so do go and check that out. If you dig what I do, I appreciate your support. Hit the subscribe button as well while I'm doing the whole YouTube talky thing. I really appreciate your support there as well. Have yourself an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Bye-bye.